Drake and Josh moment. Like, have you seen that? Okay, how should I do the intro?
You didn't think about this.
Welcome back.
At least you can think about stuff like that. That's stuff you gonna do all the time.
What?
The intro.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Like, I don't know what to say.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's on the podcast.
Okay. I don't want it to be like animated and fake. Okay.
Just like you.
Hi, guys. Did you all hear that? I hope that mic picked that shit up. Okay. What's up? I'm Ashley. This is David.
This is David.
I didn't know if you wanted to introduce yourself, but you didn't take over, so it's okay. We got Jay in the background. He's analyzing really hard right now.
Just.
Basically, you should subscribe. That needs to happen. I'll be offended if you don't. But I guess like a like on the video or something too would be cool.
It's a little bit more.
Yeah, you're too close.
No.
Too close.
I'm just checking the angles.
Get off my baby.
You're in this camera when it's just only him. And then it's not centered on here, like you're
Okay.
And then I'm only getting you. Wait, like you're in the way of this one.
Not Mochi meowing under the couch right now. You should subscribe. I'm Ashley. This is David. We're here to just talk about stories, our lives. Nothing really interesting, but like kind of interesting. Yeah. What are you yapping about? All right, I have some points written down. It says detained, curb, prep school, Uber, blind.
I think if you were detained, it wouldn't be a crazy story. I think your story would just be like,
Okay, do you want me to tell this?
let's hear the story.
Okay, I know my mom watches all my videos,
feel
so
like
she's
it's
gonna
some
watch
white-
it.
It's some white shit. It's
Oh, it was stupid.
so dramatic.
It was-
He spit on me, choked me.
It was so
then
stupid.
he became my boyfriend.
That's right. I was in 8th grade.
8th grade when you got detained?
8th grade. Okay. So what happened was, it was the summer going into freshman year of high school. Okay. So my best friend and I, she lives in New York now, but at the time we were like, why don't we like do some crazy fun stuff? We're about to be high schoolers. Like we're the shit. We're cool as. It was her older sister, her best friend, her, me, and 2 dudes they were like interested in.
Okay.
So imagine a car of 2 older girls, 2 younger girls, and then 2 older guys. Okay? So there's 3 seats in the back, and there's 4 of us in the back. So it's me and my best friend in the back with these 2 like older guys. Okay? And so it was about 3 a.m. We were all sleeping over at their house except the boys. But they were like, let's hit up the boys, let's go have fun, let's do something
How
cool.
old were the boys?
The boys were their age, like her
Oh,
older sister's age. Basically what happened was we were like, why don't we go TPing? And have you heard of skittling?
No.
It's like when you put Skittles all over someone's yard, because when the sprinklers go off, the color will like
Oh.
go into their grass.
Okay.
So we were like, we're gonna be really rebellious.
That's the most white thing I've ever heard in my life.
Okay, so we go out
crazy.
and we go TPing, right? But we TP our other best friend's house, right? And she's like not perturbed about it. Like she doesn't care. She's kind of like, oh, the gardener's got it in the morning, like whatever, you know? Like
Her gardeners got it? Her gardeners. Yo.
That's some privilege.
That's some privilege stuff right there. Man.
Well, they in the boonies.
Man, okay.
So it was no, but they lived like
So
nice,
you
like
tortured
your
her
Belinda.
gardeners.
They yes, we were pretty disrespectful to the gardeners,
Right.
but they lived in nice Your Belinda area. If anyone knows what that is, it's like Orange County, like California, rich people. You know what I mean?
Suburbs.
Not where I lived, but like where they lived. You know what I mean? So I was sitting there like, I'm happy for the ride. You know?
Yeah.
We're like, okay, let's go TPing. We went and we TP'd my friend's house. We were like, okay, time to go drop the boys off. So it's like 4 of us crammed in the back and then them in the front. And we're driving back to drop the boys off. And then we were at a red light. And then we continued going. And then she slows down a little and she goes, who wants to get dropped off first out of the 2 boys? They lived in the same neighborhood, but they were like a few houses apart. So she was like, which one of you want to get dropped off first? But they were both like, oh, I don't want to get dropped off first, like blah, blah, blah. Like we
So
want
they're trying to hang out with the girls.
Right. They wanted to hang out with the girls longer. So we were like, okay, whatever. So then the girl, the best friend that's driving, she's like, okay, one of you guys have to take your shirts off.
They was trying to fuck.
is slowing down as she's saying, who wants to take their shirt off? She comes to a full, complete stop and goes, which one of you guys are going to take your shirts off? And then they both...
Muscular?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were nice looking.
Okay.
They were nice looking. And so then we're like waiting, you know? And then all suddenly, the girl in the front, the older sister, she goes, yo, there's cops behind us. You need to start driving again. Because we're stopped like at a random street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we keep driving, and all suddenly the lights come on, and we're like, oh, and so then they pull over, and she goes, the best friend that's driving goes, I just got my license. We need to change spots because I'm not legally allowed to drive other people yet. Mm-hmm. And so then the big sister was like, okay, bet, let's do it. So as the cops like walking up to the door, they start switching seats in the front of the car.
Because you figured because the cop was behind you.
Right.
Okay.
And so then the cop comes, they roll the window down, and he goes, why'd you guys just switch seats? Like, it was like a full Drake and Josh moment. Like, have you seen that? The episode, like, they get pulled over and they switch seats. You know what I mean? So it was like that. So they switch seats, and so she's basically like, oh yeah, hi officer, like, I was the one driving kind of thing, you know? And the officer's like, you guys know I have headlights, I just saw you guys switch spots, that looks very suspicious, why'd you guys just do that? She was just like, look, like, I just got my license, I'm not allowed to drive other people, blah, blah, blah. And they go, okay, we saw there was 4 people in the back of your car. The legal limit is obviously 3, and so that means you guys aren't buckled. So we're gonna take you out one by one and pat you down. What is he doing in there? Anyway, so then they're like, we're gonna take you out one by one. Of course, I'm the first one that gets pulled out. I'm like this little innocent like girl. They open the door, they drag me out. They fucking drag me out. And then they're like throwing me around, right? And they were like, hands behind your back, like blah, blah, blah. Like, you have anything sharp in your pockets? And I'm like...
So, hold on. Why did they get so vicious?
They got so violent out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, they were like, we're gonna go pat you down. All of a sudden, all these cops start coming. They start coming out of nowhere. They're like spawning. All of a sudden, like 3 more cop cars show up. Like, there was literally 4 cop cars on the scene. Like, showing up out of nowhere, right? So I'm like, holy what's going on? I feel like I'm in a movie, you know? They're like throwing me around. I get onto the curb. They're like, hands behind your back. Well, what I've seen in the movies is you go like this in the movies, right? Like, I don't know if they can see it. They go like that, right? And then they freak out, throw my hands the way they want it, and they're like, I said palms together, I said palms together. And I'm like, bro, like, I didn't hear any of that, but like, okay, palms together.
Yeah, it's like this.
Yeah, you know,
yes, I didn't know you're supposed to go like this. I didn't know because it's supposed to handcuff you like that.
You know what that sounds like? It sounds like you went through like the canon event of every black guy in America.
Whoa. I don't want to say right now. Only you can laugh. Okay, so then they start throwing me around. And so I'm supposed to go like this so they can handcuff me or whatever. And then they start patting me down and they sit me down on the curb. And then they go through everybody one by one. There was like a few things in the car that weren't supposed to be in the car, especially for that age group.
So what was in the car?
Well, they like take all of our stuff. It was just like stuff like that, you know what I mean? There was nothing like too bad in the car, but like we're underage,
right.
So like we can't be doing that shit, you know what I mean? So it's like breaking the laws. Oh my god, this story gets so bad. Jay, have you heard this story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Officer, her right there. She did it.
I'm on the curb, and then they pat everybody down and put us all on the curb, okay? Then the 2 girls are crying, or the 3 girls are crying, but they're still kind of like...
Are the boys still there?
The boys are still there.
Okay, the boys are still there.
But I remember they like threw me onto the curb, and they were like, why are you crying? Why aren't you crying? And I was just like in shock. I'm like, why would I be crying or not? But I remember I was sitting on the curb, and at one point I thought I was so cool. I tried to take a picture of the cop car, and my flash was on.
So you're trying to record the cops?
And the flash went off, and the cop goes, give me your phone. I was like, bro,
Dang.
so he took my phone, and so we're all sitting there, and they start getting all of our names and addresses.
Are you crying right now?
I'm sweating right now. I'm sweating. It's so hot. I need to pee soon. No, so we were like, they're just like yelling at me, why are you crying? Why aren't you crying? Like, why do you want me to cry right now? But like, whatever. What are you doing back there? You're a little loud.
Stop yapping over there. You're crying.
Okay.
You're not crying.
No, I'm not
Flash the
crying. I'm not
cops.
crying because in my head I'm thinking, this is so cool. I feel like I'm in a high school
Okay,
movie.
you flash the cops.
I flashed the
No
cop.
camera.
No underage.
Okay.
Grab my phone, and they're like getting my information. They go, "What were you like? What are you guys doing?" And we were like, "Oh, we were going for a drive." Like blah blah blah. We're not gonna say, "Oh, we were going TPing like our friend's house." Like we're not doing like adding vandalism to the charge. Where are you guys staying tonight? You know, because it's like 3 in the morning.
It's 3 in the morning.
It's 3 in the morning.
Oh, I thought it was during the day.
No, it's like 3 in the morning.
Oh.
That's why it was like 10 times worse.
That makes sense because you say you were taking the guys home.
Why are we gonna TP during the day?
That's why you hate her that
No,
much.
it was our friend.
Oh, dude, I don't like someone that much. I'll TP during the day.
We were just doing it for fun. To us, it was like a harmless prank. You know what I mean?
Gardeners.
It was a prank to her gardeners at that point. Like I feel so bad for them. Like oh, I wish I could tip them. Like oh my god. They go, "Where are you guys staying tonight?" And I go, "I'm sleeping over at their house." And they go, "Oh, you're not doing that." I go, "What do you mean?" They go, "Oh no, you have to go home after this." Because I'm a minor, so they're able to do this. So I'm like, oh, like, how am I supposed to go home at like 3 a.m.? Like, what am I supposed to say to my parents? And so they go, "Everybody call your parents to come pick them up from here."
So who's gonna drive the car?
The parent is
Okay.
gonna have to come and get it.
Okay, so they called the parents.
So they wanted to call the parents to come get us all, right? But my parents, the way they work, our phones would always have to be downstairs. We were not allowed to sleep with our phones. My parents' phones, they keep downstairs as well, because it was like a rule in our house, and so they would keep their phones down there too. So I'm like, "Officer, my parents aren't gonna pick up because if I call them right now, they think I'm sleeping nice and well at my friend's house, and they're in bed right now with their phones downstairs, right?" So this is like before my parents got divorced, so they were like still living together. And stuff. I'm trying to explain to them that my parents aren't going to pick up, but they're like, "You need to call them." So I'm like, "Okay, fine." So they give me my phone, and I'm calling my parents over and over and over again, right? I'm just like praying like they'll pick up so I can like for them to pick me up. I even call my brother. He's not answering. No one's answering. My sibling isn't answering. Nobody's answering. My sibling lives in LA, so it's not even like they can come pick me up if they wanted to. You know what I mean? It's like they're not going 45 minutes at 3 a.m. just to come pick me up. And the officer goes, "Okay, these are your two options because my parents aren't picking up. Either we can take you home in the cop car and we knock on your parents' door and explain everything that happened to them, basically dropping me off to my parents." But I'm like, that looks so bad.
For sure.
That looks so bad. I don't want to do that. They go, "Okay, the other option is we can send a cop car to your parents' house to come wake them up to come pick you up."
Dang.
So like I'm at an ultimatum here. Do I want my parents to come pick me up or do I want to get dropped off?
I would have got dropped off the way you don't
Really?
have to gas.
So I chose to send a cop car to my parents' house. That's what I chose. So they can come pick me up. I
They'll
can give
calm
them
you down.
some calming down as they're on their drive back. You know what I mean? And we can handle it when we get home. You know, in my mind as like a little middle school going to a freshman, like that's what was ideal in my head. So I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. So I was in a different city than where my parents had lived. So they sent a different type of cop, like a different city cop,
County.
different county cop to my parents' house. Apparently, when they do that, they don't tell them any information. So what had happened is a cop went to my parents' house, banged on the door loud as they told my parents, "Hey, your daughter is at this intersection, you need to go pick her up." So at this point, my parents think I'm dead.
I was gonna say, is that what they said? I would think like, gee.
At that point, my parents think I'm motherfucking dead.
Okay.
So then it makes the situation 10 times worse because now they're concerned for my safety.
No. That makes it 10 times better. Because now they're going to be worried about you when they pick you up and not mad at you.
So they come to the intersection, and by the time they arrive, there's already, remember, more cops pulled up on us? So there's 4 cop cars.
4?
There's 4 cop cars. 4 cop cars for these 5 teenagers that are just driving around at nighttime being crazy?
Yeah.
Because they probably thought we were like fucked up or something. But like we genuinely like I never
Maybe
had.
if you do a breathalyzer or like.
No, but like we were all like genuinely sober. Like all of us though weren't
We
really
just want
like
to hang out.
right. We were just all wanted to hang out. We weren't like drinkers or anything like that. You know what I mean? But that's probably what they were like suspicious about, which makes sense now thinking back to it. But at the time it was like, why are they so worried? Like,
Yeah.
oh well, we're not doing anything crazy. So then my parents show up at the scene, and it's all the other parents, and then the parents of the driver, so the best friend, he's like, she got her license suspended. So her license was suspended, and he was like, you can't drive until you turn 18. But at the time, they're 16, you know? So they're like, woo, high school, you know? But we're like going into high school. We're like 13. And then my parents come, and it's both my parents, and I just like, I leave. I'm able to leave the scene, and then get my parents' car. And I'm curled up in the back, and I'm like, here's my phone. I give him my phone. My dad takes that. Give me that. Takes my phone, and then I don't want to put the rest on camera, but because it was like,
Yeah.
it was all bad. It was all bad. I got in a lot of trouble, and like I wasn't allowed to go out for like months after that.
With me, every time a cop kind of came up, like it was an issue.
Uh-huh.
So there's one story where, like me and my friends would play tag on the roof. Like I don't know, it was like parkour, whatever.
Hardcore.
It was, but it was like playing tag on a roof.
Right.
So it was like super fun. Like we were with like, I drove my grandma's PT Cruiser.
Please.
I drive my grandma's PT Cruiser to meet out of school, and we're playing tag and everything. It's on a weekend, so we're assuming like no teachers are there.
Of course.
So playing on a roof. Then I guess the police station moved where it was previously,
No.
and that police station is across the street by the library.
No.
So we were unaware of that. So the teacher came out, and they were basically saying, "Get down the roof, blah blah blah." Cops are on the way, so then we just like jumped off the roof.
Wait, it's your school's roof.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not my school. It's a random school.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't your school.
No.
Okay.
So we're playing on the roof. Then there was like 4 or 5 of us get off the roof. We start running.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I ran into my car, my grandma's car, because I drove there. Well, I don't know why I didn't just leave the car, because if cops are on their way, they're gonna find me.
Right.
So,
Well, they're gonna run the license plate anyway and find your.
well, if I didn't run to the car, they would have never known.
I feel like running to the car would have been best case scenario.
No, because I parked on the street. Or no, I parked by this bank. Then the
Oh.
school was next to it.
Oh,
So they would have never known.
Got it. I thought you meant you're like on the premises, like it's in the school
no,
parking lot.
not
Okay.
that stupid.
Okay.
So I ended up running, jumping over a fence, then going to my car. A couple of my friends ran the other way.
Okay.
The rest of us got in my car. Cops pull up right behind me. So then I'm like, I'm screwed. I'm so
Right.
screwed. Cops pull up, then some cops like drove. There's like 4 or 5 cop cars now. Like we're not delinquents. Like,
Right.
Somewhere's like 15, 16, I'm like
You're minors.
17. Yeah,
Right.
minors. And some Hispanic cop got all. I had a tattoo, so I'm like, yeah, I have a. What grade was I in? I don't remember. I think,
Sometime in
I think
high
it was a
school?
junior year. I had a tattoo on my arm, right? And then this cop was assuming that I'm some badass, blah blah blah. I'm
Right.
shirtless, and I don't know what it was, but he's yelling at me, and like, yeah, he's just yelling at me. He thinks I'm being a smart, because he was implying that they caught us, that they ran physically and caught us. And they're like, "Oh, you guys aren't that quick." Well, we're in our 30s. I'm like, okay, like, I don't know why that's relevant.
Yeah. What?
So then I was like, I don't know what you want me to say.
Right.
Then they grabbed my driver's license, and they're like, you were 4 days after now, because I think it's 17 and a half. You have to have your license for over a year, then you can
Right.
legally drive minors.
Right.
And apparently I was like a week or a few
Yep,
days.
that's like what
after.
happened to us.
So then they're like, we could have arrested you if you were a couple days before. And I don't know why I said this, but I said I don't know why that's relevant, because why you bring it
Because
up?
it wasn't.
Because
it wasn't.
I'm already. If you
It's
knew
not
that
the
I'm
situation.
free, are you trying to make me seem stupid? So I was thinking, okay, I don't know why that matters. So then he thinks I'm just being a smart. So then he's yelling at me, and I'm like, "Sir, you're spitting on me." I was like, "Come on."
Right.
So then me and
Wait, you said this?
yeah, he like, dude, you're spitting on me, and he doesn't care. Then puts me in handcuffs. I'm in the back of the car. I'm assuming, like every other situation, they usually just call my grandma.
Tested him, bro.
Dude, I'm like, I didn't think I was wrong. So then I'm like, worst case scenario, like every other situation that involves a cop, you know, they're just gonna call your parent. That's what happened
Right.
a couple times. They just call my grandma.
Right.
Because I don't know, I'm like, what are you gonna do? Call my grandma?
Right.
Even though it was scary, but
Yeah.
that's what happened.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to juvenile hall with a friend, and then I don't know why I thought it was kind of funny because I was like, if I'm gonna go to juvenile hall, at least I'm with a friend.
Right.
At least like have a conversation. But what sucked was I had to leave the car there. That's my grandma's only car. So when I went to juvenile hall, she had to pick me up.
Wait, what was your charge? Was it trespassing?
Yeah, it's trespassing.
I got it.
But the charge got dropped later on.
Okay.
But I ended up having to put an orange jumpsuit on because
No.
I'm shirtless. I
Yeah.
don't know why, but you can't. They won't let you go in juvenile hall shirtless. They put
Right.
you in like this little glass cubicle. There's like a stone wall, so that way there's like a bathroom and stuff. You can go use the restroom. And then I called my grandma. I let her know like I'm in jail, but
for kids.
for kids. So I was like juvenile hall. So then she's like mad, but she's like okay. So she had to ask a neighbor for a ride.
Oh.
And then I could see the outside of in the cell. There's like a glass window. I could see outside. I see my grandmother. I'm waving at her, and I'm like, I'm smiling. I think because I'm
You're like, I'm free, mother.
She just like shakes her head like mad at me. Then she picks me up and she's like doesn't speak to me that whole time because there's a neighbor, so she doesn't want to be embarrassed.
Right.
So then we go home. Then she's like yelling at me. Then like she like slams the door like 5 times, like, and I'm thinking I'm dead.
Right.
I'm getting murdered tonight.
Right.
It was horrific.
Wait, does she not know how to drive, or was she too old, or?
Well, because I had her car. So how is she gonna pick me up?
Oh, bruh.
Yeah. So like, of course she's pissed.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
But-
because you took it without her permission?
Yes.
Oh my god, that
And,
adds
like,
so much more to the story,
I don't
bro.
blame her because like obviously like things build up.
Right.
You know, like she's been mad before. This one time I was with some neighbor kids. I think we're like 12, 10, something like that. Across the street, there's a football field. Or sorry, baseball field. Then around the corner, there's a football field. I'm with 3 boys and myself, and we're like playing football, being boys.
Right.
The rule's always been, come home when the lights turn on.
Right.
You know. So then.
On or off?
On. So like when it gets dark, the lights turn on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know what it was. It was just super light out. Like we're playing, we're not really paying attention. But
Right.
then we started noticing it started getting darker, and we're like, oh, okay, we need to head home. We're playing, like we're headed home. And we're right around the corner. So we show up, we see lights, and it's a bunch of cop cars.
No.
So now I'm assuming, okay, they call the cops. I'm more afraid for them because I've heard them. I heard their parent like beat the crap out of them before.
Right.
It's 3 of them: Donovan, Martine, and Andrew. And like
Name calling.
It's like they're like a couple years. One's older, one's my age, one's younger.
Right.
And so I'm like, oh my god, I feel so bad for you guys. And his mom's like, their mom's like big,
Right.
Hispanic, like just. And so my grandma's like mad. She starts like whipping me like in front of the cops.
Right.
But not my face or anything. Just to be disciplined. Like,
Right.
Yeah, these kids are stupid.
Right.
So as we go inside the house, they have these doors where you can just pull, then it opens again, like for the closet. And then I just remember her grabbing it and just like shaking it and like breaking it. And I crawl up to my bunk bed.
Oh, no.
And I'm thinking, she's gonna hurt me. So I was
Oh,
like, she's gonna hurt me.
no.
I'm dead.
It's coming.
Because like, man, she's whooped my butt before.
Right.
Man, I think that was the first time I've ever had a cop call situation.
Right.
But that was like the most scariest time because my grandma's had my back before with cops, and like being detained is like something where it was definitely frowned upon. So I
Absolutely.
got kicked out of 8th grade, and like they took me home. Like I was,
Like expelled or like
yes,
it was
but
their
it was
choice?
nothing dramatic at all. It was mostly like
We're asking you to leave.
we're asking you to leave,
Yep.
and basically I called my grandmother, and she said, go back to class. So they told me to go to the front office, and I was like, I'm in the office.
But they legally, it's like them asking you to leave is you're getting expelled, but we're doing it in a cordial way.
Yeah, but my grandma said go back to class. I'm gonna listen to my parent.
Right.
So the principal's telling me like, no, you need to stay here. I was like, it's not what my grandma said. So I was like, I'm going back to the classroom.
Right.
Then a cop comes because in the middle schools there's like those little cops that'll come in.
Right.
Not security, it was an actual cop. So
Right.
then he puts me in handcuffs, embarrasses me in front of my class. And so I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna go to jail, I'm thinking the whole time. I'm
Right.
in 8th grade, so I'm assuming I'm in big trouble.
Right.
So they put me in the back of the cop car, take me home. My grandma's like, what's going on? Like,
Right.
why is he in the back? Like I fought back or something.
Right.
And then, no, she's like yelling at him, and like she really had my back.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, how dare you embarrass him? And in front of his friends in
No,
school,
yeah.
like you couldn't sit him in the
No, that
front of the
is kind
seat.
of wild to do that.
Well, because like people were like pointing at me, and then like I'm in the back of the cop car. It's all plastic seats.
Right.
I'm in handcuffs. Like I'm not fighting back. I was just listening to my grandma said by going back into the room.
Yeah.
So that was like, it sucked. I was like, whatever. School sucked. I hated school. But I heard
Yeah.
you were in prep school, right?
That was a great segue. That was really good. Okay, yeah, I was in prep school. I went there for 11 years. Originally, it was private school, but then it switched to prep school when a new company took
Private
over.
school for girls?
No, it's
Okay.
for all genders, co-ed.
Okay. Christian?
It supposedly wasn't Christian, but we prayed every morning and we prayed before we left.
Christian.
Yeah, it was basically Christian. It was like we did a prayer when we first arrived and before snack and lunch. So we prayed about 3 times a day.
Okay.
We had uniforms, plaid skirt, blouses, the cardigan jacket,
Whole uniform.
high socks, and your shoes were supposed to be black, white, or navy. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what we were told. Okay? So, I was on a field trip, okay? And every time a class went on a field trip, I was in middle school at this point, but this prep school was preschool to 8th grade. I started there halfway through preschool because the first half I was at a different preschool. But then I moved to this preschool, or this prep school.
Were you an ugly kid?
You want to see pictures? I was kind of hot as a kid.
Yo, Paul.
Don't show this to no girl. Man, pervert's gonna be on here.
No, I was a cute kid. I was a cute kid. I wasn't ugly. I did have an ugly phase, but I wasn't ugly. You know what I mean?
Did you like the school, or were you not there for? You said you're there for how long?
11 years.
11 years.
Almost every single morning I would cry and say I'm sick, I don't want to go, I'm getting bullied. I would find any reason because I was getting bullied. No, there wasn't nuns, but one time I did get sent off with nuns.
Oh, okay.
But that's a different story.
Okay. See, when I was it wasn't I don't know, I don't think it was a prep school. I'm like 5 years old, and I lived in Louisiana,
Mm-hmm.
and like same thing, black shoes. I was like the red shirt, then like navy blue pants.
Was it like a polo?
Yeah, it was like a polo.
It was probably private school then.
Yeah, but I don't know. It was the weirdest experience.
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember.
Imagine doing that for 11 years.
So you said 8th grade, so you weren't there for.
I graduated 8th grade, and then that's when I got into the arts school,
Oh.
the arts high school. The arts high school starts in 7th grade because it's 7th through senior year. So I was left out, and they're like, nobody gets in freshman year because there's like no spots.
Mm-hmm.
So like I had gotten lucky, and I was one of 3 girls that got in that year, you know, for that grade.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Narcissistic even.
or I'm hyping myself up. I'm sorry, I accomplished
Girl
something.
boss.
That's right.
Don't worry, I got you.
I cringed at that a lot. Okay, so I'm on a field trip. I had just gotten these new shoes, right? And I'm
Black
like,
shoes.
they're perfect. They're Toms, So you buy one, they give one to someone else in need. I feel like a great person. They are navy blue.
Was that when Toms were a thing back then?
Yes.
Okay. I thought Toms were for men.
No.
Okay.
They're for everyone. They were navy blue, and they had white polka dots on them.
Okay.
But since the dress code colors, thank you. Since the dress code colors were black, white, gray, and navy blue, I thought even though I'm wearing navy blue shoes with white, I would be okay, right? So I'm on this field trip, and we're listening to a tour guide talk about some random shit I couldn't tell you about.
Something Jesus-y.
Something random as, right? So our whole class is standing there, like listening, like, oh my god, we're just happy to not be in class today. Like, okay, we're listening. And all of a sudden, I have a ponytail in my hair. All of a sudden, I feel a little tug. And I'm like, I think it's one of my friends messing with me, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay focused.
So you're on a field trip?
We're on a field
Some pervert
trip.
grabbed you.
But we're with our class.
Oh.
It's a group of our class, you know? So I'm like thinking my friend is like messing with me, like trying to get my attention or something. But I'm like trying to be respectful to the tour guide, so I'm like, I'm just not gonna give them the attention. So they tug, right? Then they tug a little harder, right?
It's a pervert, I'm telling you. Like,
And I get thrown back. Fucking 3 times, bro, and I get thrown back, right? I turn around. You know who that motherfucker was? My god principal.
dang.
My principal is yanking my hair. Yanking my hair.
That before.
It's a female, bro.
Oh.
F you, Miss Jackson. F you. Okay. And I turn around and I'm like, damn. Like the fuck. Obviously I didn't say that, but I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? I'm sorry, you know? And then the other teacher that was standing there was like, yo, that's enough. Like, that's kind of wild.
What'd you do?
I just stared at them like, what?
No,
like,
why'd
what
you
the
do
f is going on? Right. I'm confused as hell. She looks at me and she goes, your shoes are out of dress code. My new Toms I just bought? Because they have polka dots.
Was she old?
No.
Was she young?
Yeah.
How old?
Like 30 or 40.
She hasn't got laid yet.
She thought you were competition. She was like, damn, fresh times.
She was matched up.
They were fresh Toms, bro. What are you yanking my hair for? Like, what are you yanking my hair for?
She's looking at her like, damn, you're looking too fly. Take out them polka dots.
But like, you're in middle school. Why are you yanking a child's hair like that? You know what I mean?
Because she hasn't had that happen to her.
Oh, I know. Maybe that's why I like it now.
So did you tell your parents they got her fired?
I never told her.
You never told
I never told my parents.
Yeah.
I am not a snitch.
I don't tell
I've
my
never
grandma
told
a lot
my
of things, but anytime something hurt me, go to my grandma, she'll go, even if I'm wrong, she'll always have my back.
Yeah, my dad doesn't know that story to this day.
Dang.
My mom,
Send me a clip.
No, for real. My mom, I told like a few months ago, like recently.
What was her response?
She was like, "Oh, I would have totally done something," and I'm
says
like,
that
"That's right,
now.
Mama Bear."
She says that now.
I know.
But during then, she's like, she deserved it.
Yeah, she's like, "Those shoes were out of dress code."
So, I have a question,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been dying to hear it. What's with the blind story?
Jay, can you come in? So we were driving back from Sacramento, right?
Right, it was just when we first like left. You were in the car with me. So it was so after we came from the gas station, we went to McDonald's. We was in the drive-thru. Then after we came from the drive-thru, right?
I'm hearing the Riz voice.
Wait, what did you order?
I'm making chicken and a McDonald's.
I was trying to get some sausage McMuffins because it was like 11 o'clock. So I'm thinking they still like selling breakfast.
No,
but they weren't.
it was 1 p.m.
I like breakfast. It's better than
24
that.
1 p.m.
Not that one. That one went 24 hours. And you know, lately I've been seeing less and less 24-hour breakfast McDonald's.
Maybe it's like not.
They're trying to save money. And me, I like to be safe than sorry. So I don't just pull out into traffic coming out, making a left turn, especially making a left turn. I look left, right, left again, right again, left again, right again.
This is Cap.
Left again, right again.
Until you go.
Until it's super clear, until like there's nothing else. So I'm about to go, and the only reason I didn't keep going because I started to look right again, and there were still cars coming. So I stop. And so I see this man walking at least 10 feet from us by the time I pull out. He has a stick in his hand, right?
Like the blind stick.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was a blind stick. I thought it was a cane, because it was an old dude. So I'm thinking it's a cane to help him walk.
Oh,
Yes.
I thought it was like the mouse is
Yo.
knowing, right?
So tell me why I'm in the middle of the drive, you know, when it dips to
Yeah.
before you can come out. So I'm in the middle of that before I'm able to go. And I'm still looking the other way, and he's coming from the left side. So tell me why all of a sudden we just hear a I'm thinking the car ran into the car, and it was like a little small car or something, so we didn't move. I turned around to see this man.
Oh, he hit your car with the stick?
He ran straight into the car.
Oh, the car.
The blind guy
The
ran
blind
into my
man
car.
ran into the car, and then he just starts filling around the car. I'm thinking he thinking up the car. He like
Wait,
hitting the
so you
bumper.
hit the blind guy?
Yes, and
No!
the guy runs into the car. He just runs straight into it, like body first. Like
Yeah.
he didn't even use the
Trying to get an
K.
insurance claim.
And I'm like, he didn't even have none of them glasses on. Maybe he have no. Eyes were closed shut.
So he's faking.
Yeah, and the worst part of it was there were cars coming, and he started walking. He didn't even say sorry.
He was mad. He was like, why didn't he say sorry? I'm like, bro, he's blind.
Man,
He
if I
can't
was
see
blind
what
and I
he
ran
did.
into somebody else's car, I'd be like, my bad, you know.
How do you know it's a car if you're blind?
Just like iced coffee in the morning.
I can call someone right now.
Oh.
A guy who had in my class, or I think it was like history or whatever, or no, English. And there's this cute girl who like sat behind or next to the kid, I don't remember, but he ended up jerking